Hello everybody and welcome to the E5 podcast. I'm Paul Meenan.
I'm JW.
And I'm Paul Skyrme.
I'm Dan Jackson.
And I'm Dave Watts, aka Sparky Ninja. And so we're all novices at this new adventure of ours, doing podcasting. Mr. Dempsey is unavailable. Heaven forbid what punishment or torture he's putting himself through. But he is unavailable tonight. So we're just going to carry on without him. So in these podcasts, these are going to be quite different from some of the other podcasts about, because we're just going to talk about whatever the hell we want, really, and just drivel on. But in these, we're going to try and talk about some technical issues, and across our experience and our knowledge, we'll share it in this medium.
But also with these podcasts, we are hoping that you can they're light-hearted, you can get a feel for what we're like when we talk between us, so it's not all serious stuff, because when we do technical videos or articles, you don't really get the personalities behind, so that's kind of the purpose of the podcast.
Yes, I am the chief banting operator for E5. If there is a bit of fun and humour in the subject matter, I will drill down, expose it, and channel it just for the crack, because in all fairness, and this is my first Confessionlys podcast, when I was learning electrics, I did find it rather boring, and I just thought, I've got to make this fun, and I have never stopped, in all fairness, although it is a fascinating subject now. I am fully nerd, but I do find making it fun, if that makes any sense whatsoever. But yeah, so we're going to do a load of different podcasts over the coming weeks, months, or until we really get fed up with doing this, to be honest with you. And hopefully they'll cover a range of industries, disciplines. We're not just going to be chatting to other Sparks, but we'll be asking people some questions, one-man band Sparks, engineers, hopefully some designers, some machinery experts, or maybe even do some podcasts from when we're at trade shows or other events. I'm sure me and Dan will be at one soon.
And we really want you listeners and anybody who follows E5 to kind of suggest what you want us to talk about, because we're open. You want a topic you want us to discuss? Let's discuss it.
So I want one where John Ward just non-stop swearing. I think it'd be good. I'm sure there is a forum for John just ranting, just swearing, just let it go. And I'm sure people will probably be our highest subscribed podcast, actually. I think. Maybe. I don't know. John, what do you think?
Well, it would be interesting, wouldn't it? Whether it would be recommended to do that kind of thing is another story. But controversial and rude stuff generally gets the views, certainly on YouTube and whatever. So also gets you probably banned from the channel for life as well. But that's another story altogether, isn't it?
So for those listening, you may have heard a little gap in the noise. That's because we've just edited 10 minutes out of that explanation where John went into a foul-mouthed tirade using new words, new expletives that I've never actually heard of before. But obviously this is a family show. So John, thanks for that brief explanation, and we had to cut out the long version. We're going to do what you ask us to do, basically, but we'll do some various stuff. I think it will be based around regs. Dan, I'm sure you'll do loads of stuff around fire alarms and contracting. And the ones I personally am looking forward to the most is actually Mr. Skyrme's, where you're going to be telling us and taking us through the journey of machinery.
The machinery safety side of the industry is somewhat different to the contracted side, I would say.
Well,
people don't realise.
Well, this is the thing. I mean, when I first met you, I didn't realise that I walk around where I work at the moment now, and I just think, roller shutters, machinery directive, what safety features do they have? Look at these e-stops. Are they fully compliant? And you've done a really good article. It was in the NAPIT Competent Person magazine a while ago, which was nothing
Very basic.
short. It wasn't basic, mate. It was nothing short of world class, to be honest with you.
This is a great thing about electricians and the electrical industry as well, is that being an electrician is such a broad term because there's so many different little areas that you can go into, and that's a good thing about the E5 group and the founding members plus anybody else who's involved, because we have such different backgrounds and we all kind of bring it together. Like within the 5 people talking now, we've obviously got you, Paul Meenan, with your background. We've got Paul Skyrme, machinery, mechanical. We've got David Watts, training,
the ninja, and we've got JW, and what you bring with your YouTube channel and what you show everybody. And my background is electrical contracting and fire alarms, so we all kind of come together and can. Let's not forget as well, JW is a working electrician, as well as his YouTube stuff, and also for me it is quite weird and humbling, if you don't mind me saying, John, so you can mute the screen if you want to switch, but it's kind of nice having a group of people who you actually really like and respect and look up to. I won't lie, but every time I speak to John or Dave, there's a little bit of that, oh my god, I'm talking to someone who's like, you look up to in the industry from a professionalism perspective. John's now got up and walked away, no doubt, but it's very humbling. It really is humbling, and I think these podcasts, we're going to do some really good content in the coming months. But it would make it if for you guys driving, one, you actually wake up, because it's probably early morning or late night, so wake up and tell us what you want to hear. If not, we'll do our own stuff, and I'm sure we'll do some more filming once we finish this one, or recording, not filming, where we talk about different specific subject matter going forward, so that we can have some decent content for you guys to listen to on your way into work. For me, one of the things I want to do is help people work the problem. John is really good at it in his videos. He works through a narrative, not a script, a narrative, where he analyzes in a very logical engineering manner. And that is what good engineers, and I include electricians in that, because electricians are gods, obviously. But that working through the problem helps guys who sit in silos validate their thoughts and opinions, or gives them a different way of thinking. And I found that bouncing off your peers is a really good way. So hopefully this podcast will help in that respect. Just before, because this is going to be a short one, this is not going to be a long one. A couple of bits we're going to talk about. Who are E5? Well, we are a co-op of lunatics, electricians, former electricians, engineers, managers, teachers, trainers, YouTubers. And one of the things that we are here to do, if you've seen our alternative logo, is try to influence, inspire, and inform. Please don't hate me for saying the word influence. I mean influence through our behaviours, not actually say we're influencers. We want to inspire people to step up, to challenge, to be better than they ever think or thought they could be. We want to inform you with facts and objectivity, but the most important one, as Dave rightly keeps saying, the support and educate is key, because we can do that. We can support individuals, we can support manufacturers, we can support groups, we can educate, because let's be perfectly frank, John and Dave are two of the best educators in the UK, so it's an absolute honour having them just sat on a Friday night doing this podcast. And yeah, we're here to help. We don't want money, we're not interested in money. The conduct of our character is enough for us to be rewarded and help you guys. If it helps keep you safe and your installation safe and makes you proud of what you're doing and you can develop yourself, then great.
And I think some people get a little bit confused by what you said there, Paul, about why it is free and why E5 is free. And it's to, like you've always said, it's about giving back to people.
Oh no, I meant I'm a pickpocket. Sorry, did I not put that bit in? Oh yeah, no, it's technically not free. I just steal from people when they're not watching. No, I'm only joking, of course. Sorry, my sixth sense of humour. Sorry. No, yes, it is free, because to be honest with you, I find money is just not a great thing. It seems to corrupt. And I find when people ask questions about money can corrupt or can't corrupt, well, if it can or can't, it doesn't matter. Just keep it out of the equation. I don't go around the country helping people, doing professional registration advice. Me and Paul are travelling to deepest, darkest Wales to run seminars for people for free, for nothing. We go there to help the sparks. There are lots and lots of guys who are still on the tools, who want to get off the tools, who don't see a way out, or a way forward, or may feel in a little silo. And mental health being prevalent in our industry, we are the arse end of construction and infrastructure. We're the guys who are always in last, always under pressure. And when you're by yourself, house bashing, and someone's house is falling apart or fuse board, it'd be really nice to feel that you're not alone. There's an industry support body who doesn't want money from you, that doesn't want anything other than you to be as good as you can and do the best job you can, and just be humble about it. So that for me is great, and it doesn't need money. Don't need money.
Yeah, on the money thing, I'll just say that all the videos I've done, not one of them is actually a sponsor video. No one's actually paid for any of that content. That's not the sort of thing that I do, unlike there are obviously other channels which do reviews, and a lot of those are actually paid for. And of course, the trouble is, once they're getting paid for it, then they're probably going to be saying what some manufacturers wanting them to say and all of that kind of thing. So I'll just put there that I don't do that kind of video, never have done, and won't be doing those in the future either. Because I say, once you do one of them, it basically destroys your credibility completely.
So I think what JW is saying there is he is diverse and inclusive in whose equipment he is willing to blow up, melt, or set fire to. Which is very good of you, John. Now that blows out. I was going to ask you to lend me 50 quid, but there you go. That's gone out the window. We don't involve money, so I can't ask that question anymore. But yeah, so that's kind of who we are, really. And I'll be honest with you, you're probably thinking I'm a mad, rambling lunatic at the moment. Yeah, I'd say half the guys on this probably agree. But hopefully, once you've heard half a dozen or so, you'll realise there's actually quite a wealth of knowledge, experience that is in these podcasts, and will help you. And if we're wrong, we will acknowledge we're wrong on further podcasts. But generally, we try to not talk unless we know what we're doing. And I think that's quite important. So that's basically E5. John, you are most certainly probably one of the more valued extended people of the group outside of the original 5. I'm not going to ask you to do an impression of Mr. Dempsey because he might get angry. But Mr. Dempsey, wherever you are, we're thinking about you, big man. And I'm sure he'll be... Did you say the not technical one?
The not technical one.
So even though I promised I would never call him that again, technically, 5 people on this call are actually reasonably technical. Yeah. So there you go. The technical part of E5 is doing the podcast. That's great. Okay, so guys, we're going to wrap this up now because my computer will probably break if we run it any longer. And yeah, has anybody got anything they would like to say to summarise? And I'm sure you'll be doing your own stuff or tagging up at some point.
Silence. The silence is deafening.
I'll pop in and say, yeah, just engage, and if there's anything you want to have discussed on the podcast, this is the best opportunity to actually get more involved with E5.
Yes, and we'll be giving you updates on what we're doing, because we will be at Sandown Alex.
And what we really want members to do, whoever follows us on social media or supports E5, is podcasts like this. We want you to share it on social media, share it with friends, share it on LinkedIn, Twitter, Facebook, you name it, because that really helps us get our message out, and that's what we ask members to do.
That's a good point, actually. So what we'll do is we'll do another podcast at some point, and we'll talk to you closer to the next Alex, but we're planning to do some bits and bobs at Alex. So we're hopefully going to see you at them because they're the good trade show. They're the one that supports Professional Electrician magazine, which is an industry, well, it's just a pillar of the industry, really. Every single person who calls themselves the Sparks has picked that magazine up in the van and entertained himself with it. So, yeah, they're the original and the best. So what we'll do is we're going to leave it there. By the way, that they're not actually sponsoring us and they're not paying us for us to say that. We give credit where credit's due. Any manufacturers want us to play with your products, we'll play with them. We won't charge you for it, and we'll do more podcasts that cover this in more detail anyway as we go through. But Mr. Skyrme wants to talk on.
The only thing I will say about manufacturers is if the product is rubbish, we'll say it's rubbish. If it's good, we'll say it's good.
Yes, we will. And I've spent a few years in the lighting industry, if anyone from the lighting industry is listening, telling them that their luminaires are crap or they are non-compliant with the various directives that they don't even know exists. But that will probably be, and do you know what, actually there's one for me, there's a loaner one. So I'll do a podcast where I just cover what to look for in purchasing a light, because the amount of people that go to the wholesalers and they buy glare bombs for 15 quid and then put a set of Wagos on it in a box and go, hooray, look, it looks lovely. And you're thinking, it's light pollution, it's a glare bomb. These LEDs need far better control and management than just a 10 or 15 watt LED floodlight lighting up your neighbour's bedrooms at 2 a.m. in the morning. So that'd be one for me. Right, should we wind this up? Okay, right, so that's it for our very first podcast. We are trying to get better at this, so thank you very much for listening. Chaps, say goodbye.
Goodbye.
Good evening.
Goodbye.
There you go.
Good evening.
Right.
Bye for now.
Thank you for listening. Take care of yourself and each other. All the best. Bye-bye.